Hey everyone, it's Smitha. Today I am super excited because we're coming back with a part 2 of a video that I did a few weeks ago, and that is where I try to find some alt beauty lover shades from drugstore brands. And when I say drugstore, I mean by and large affordable, because a lot of these lipsticks, really all of them, I got online. A lot of them are brands that, yes, you can find in the drugstore, but in my own personal experience, I have trouble finding a lot of these really fun shades in store. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I think by and large it's because people are typically looking for those neutral shades. Maybe they're just not shades that sell well in the store. So in case you're curious, yes, I have found all of these shades pretty much, with the exception of maybe a couple, online. I also want to say thank you because a bunch of people gave me some recommendations. I tried to get my hands on some of them. I wasn't able to get my hands on a bunch, either because it was going to take too long to ship or just because I couldn't find them. But keep the recommendations coming, and if you enjoy this video, I will continue to make them. The very first shade I have is a shade that was recommended, and this is in the Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Balm formula, and it's the shade Black Cherry. And I tried this shade on in the Super Lustrous Bullet Lipstick, and this lip balm was recommended to me. So I am excited to give it a go. My experience with this formula previously is that I tried a lip balm that was incredibly sheer, but I'm feeling hopeful about this one, especially since it was recommended. So let's go ahead and give it a go. So this is just a very sheer layer, and you can totally build it up. But I was told that this would be a good option for people that may be a little bit intimidated of the Black Cherry Bullet Lipstick because of its level of pigment. And I agree, because this formula is buildable, but I will go ahead and show you what you can do with it if you built it up a little bit more. It's still very pigmented, even on the first layer, but you can see as you build it up, you can definitely get it to be more pigmented. But this is a really beautiful shade, and definitely a lip balm that I see myself using quite a bit, even on a daily basis. Okay, the next shade we have is another one that was recommended to me, and this is a L'Oreal lipstick. This is a color Riche, and it's the shade S'il vous plaît. And this to me looks like sort of a deeper vampire red, actually like a comfort zone red for me, but I could see this one as being out of the comfort zone for other people. Let's go ahead and give this one a go. And this is pretty much full pigment with one swipe. It feels like satin, but not the kind of formula that feels like it's too creamy, like it's going to move around, at least not too much. Here is what it looks like applied. Beautiful shade, and this I feel like is approachable for the all beauty lovers, and also maybe people who aren't into super adventurous shades as well. So I feel like this one actually is fairly approachable, even though, you know, it is a little bit on the deeper vampire side. Okay, the next shade I have is yet another recommendation, and this is the NYX Bullet Lipstick, Matte Lipstick, Suede, in the shade Ace. And actually this line was recommended by so many people, not necessarily this specific shade, but just in general, the line was recommended by so many people. And I can see why, because there are honestly so many cool and interesting shades, but some of them are hard to get your hands on. This I would describe as kind of like a teal, kind of bluey green, and it has a fair amount of depth to it. So let's go ahead and try it on. Right, honestly, yes, I feel like this shade is not going to be for everyone, but it is a really fun lipstick. This is what it looks like without a lip liner. I am going to show you what it looks like with a liner as well. But yes, thank you so much for recommending this because it is a very fun shade. I'm going to take this black lip liner from Blend Bunny. It's one of the lip liners from Blend Bunny and Jordan Liberty. I'm just going to try to add a little bit and blend it in. These are super creamy. And I know I'm not exactly going from light to deep, but I wanted to save the glittery shades for the end because some of the glitter is sometimes hard to remove between the swatches. Right, and here's the shade Ace with a black lip liner. I do think I prefer it with a little bit extra definition. And I gotta say, this formula, it doesn't feel super matte. I think suede is a great name for it because honestly, it has a sort of velvety texture. All right, and the next lipstick we have is from CoverGirl. This is called Peacock. It's the Demi Matte bullet lipstick formula. And actually, I tried this formula in my other video as well. I didn't know CoverGirl had such cool shades of lipstick, but they don't have them on the main website, so you do have to find them from some other retailers, including Amazon and some others as well. This I would describe as almost like a navy blue, maybe just a touch lighter than navy. All right, here is what it looks like applied. I think that this one is also going to look nice with a liner. I'm going to see if I can find a different shade to pair it with. Let's go ahead and try Reap from Unearthly. This is like a rich kind of neutral brown. I do think that a lot of these shades can be intimidating, but if you play around with them in combos, you can do some really cool things. Formula feels comfortable, and I think the term demi matte is perfect because I would say it doesn't feel like a kind of straight matte, and it doesn't feel super creamy either. It's somewhere like right in between. Okay, and the next shade I have is another demi matte from CoverGirl, and this is a white lipstick. I've got no business wearing a white lipstick by itself. However, this kind of shade is perfect for mixing with other lipsticks, and I don't have a white lipstick, so I think it's actually very useful. I'm going to apply it, and then I am going to mix it with this black lipstick to try to make a really cool gray toned lipstick. Let's go ahead and start with this CoverGirl one. I know that Necromancy has some lipsticks like this as well. I don't know if they have a straight white one or whether it's cream. But I'm gonna just, start off. I mean, this looks scary by itself, but I am gonna go ahead and go straight in with this one from Mina. And, the black lipstick is gonna overpower it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit and mix it. And voila, a beautiful slate gray lipstick. I'm not done yet. I do know that I have to pair this one with a liner because on my skin tone, it looks too stark, but let's go ahead and add this black liner from Blend Bunny. All right, and here's what the combination of Mina 900, this is a matte black lipstick with the white lipstick from CoverGirl. This is called Yin Yang. And honestly, love how easy it was to mix these shades together to come up with a super badass gray lip combo. All right, and now we're gonna get into some of the really cool shimmery lipsticks that I was able to find. I have two from Revlon. The first is called Power On Lilac. And I can't see what the formula is, but it comes in this blue packaging here, and it says on the bottom that it's shade 105. This one is glittery, not just shimmery like a frost. And you can feel the shimmer a little bit, so I just want to mention that. Because with a lot of the frosts, I was not feeling them whatsoever. They felt very smooth. This one seems like it's buildable, but this is the kind that's going to look best at a full opacity. Just looks a little bit patchy when it's not built up. All right, to like this lipstick, you definitely have to be on board with a sparkly lip. It is cool, but it's definitely not every day, and it is definitely not going to be for everyone. But this is such a cool lipstick, and who knew that Revlon had lipsticks like this? Let me just go in with a little bit of this black lip liner just to create a little bit of definition. And here's the combo that I created with Power On Lilac. All right, I decided to not completely wipe away the lip liner because I do think that the shade is going to need it as well. This is also from Revlon, and it's the exact same packaging and formula. It's the shade Turn It Up Teal. Ooh, it would be hard to pick a favorite between the two. I think I might slightly prefer this teal tone. Now these are very sparkly. They honestly look like almost metallic on the lips. And if you're curious about a formula of kind of more available metallic lipsticks, definitely check out the ones from Unearthly, because they also do really fun metallic shades. Oh, this shade is so fun. And it looks so good with this black liner. Here is what Turn It Up Teal looks like fully applied. All right, the next shimmery lip I have is from Maybelline, and this is another super cool shade. It's called Gunmetal. Now, this one doesn't look as straight up glittery as the ones that I just tried on. Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be more like a deeper frost. So I am excited because I do tend to prefer lips that feel a little bit smoother. Yeah, this is basically just like that teal shade I tried, but more of a frosty formula. And here is what the shade Gunmetal looks like applied on its own. I think I'm going to skip adding a liner because I have one more lip product I want to show, and you've seen what a teal just like this looks like paired with a liner. in general, I think I do prefer a lot of these as combos rather than all by themselves. All right, and the last product I have is also from Maybelline. This is one of their very well-known formulas, the Superstay Matte Ink. These are liquid lipsticks, and I wasn't sure what the removal was going to be like for this product, which is why I saved it for last. It is a kind of cobalt blue. So I've heard great things about this formula, especially its staying power. And I didn't know that it came in really cool shades like this. Here is what the shade Explorer looks like all on its own. Again, I feel like this is going to look better with a liner, so I'm going to go in and just add a little bit of this black liner. I am curious if this formula feels drying if you've had it on for a while. But I feel like a lot of people love this formula. But this is the most matte formula that I've tried in a while. Here is what the shade Explorer looks like fully applied and paired with a black lip liner. All right, and that was the last lipstick that I had to try on. I gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun with kind of exploring this whole genre of fun lipsticks that you can find at the drugstore. I just had no idea that you could find so many cool shades. Some people have told me that you used to be able to find more cool shades and it seems to be harder and harder. I don't have enough experience to know, but I do know that if you do some deep dives, you can find some cool shades, especially online. So definitely recommend checking out for yourself, especially if you were keen on any of the shades that I showed, because all of these shades pretty much I found online. But now that I've had a chance to try on everything, I would love to hear in the comments what your favorite shade is. And of course, more recommendations about other cool drugstore lipsticks that I should check out, especially ones for the all beauty lovers. As always, I really hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.